is Dave at the SHSAA office, and I will be providing instruction on how to register a joint sponsorship to your E3 and complete an E5 form for the joint sponsorship in ExNet. The original intent of the bylaw for joint sponsorship was to allow two small schools, which were in close geographic proximity to each other and did not have enough students to form their own teams in a specific activity, to join together to form a team in order to create opportunity for the students from their schools to participate in an activity sanctioned by the SHSAA that they would not otherwise be able to participate in. While this is still the preference, the bylaw has since expanded to allow a school that does not have enough students participating in an activity to join with a school with an established program so that the students can participate in an activity that they would not otherwise have an opportunity to participate in. The joint sponsorship bylaw is not intended for two or more schools to join together with the purpose of creating a more skillful or competitive team, or to provide specific students from a school a more competitive team to participate on. Member schools of the SHSAA are encouraged to offer extracurricular programming at their own school so that students registered at their school can represent their school during inter-school competition. Joint sponsorships can only be created in the activities of basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, or curling. Joint sponsorships are a 3-year commitment and should be made for schools within close proximity of each other. Joint sponsorships for curling are only considered for boys curling and girls curling, not the open mixed category, and can only be made between schools that have an enrollment of 40 or less eligible students. If schools feel that their situation falls within the intent of the bylaw for joint sponsorships and the administrators of the schools involved are on board, please contact the SHSAA office to discuss your specific scenario and to request for the applications to be emailed to the administrators of the school. Application deadlines for joint sponsorships are May 31st for football, October 1st for soccer and volleyball, and December 1st for basketball and curling. When an application is approved, the classification of the team is determined by combining the enrollments of the schools forming the joint sponsorship. Once the joint sponsorship has received approval from your school division and the SHSAA office, you are ready to register the joint sponsorship team on your E3 and complete the E5. Start by opening any web browser and in the URL type shsaa.ca, and this will take you to the SHSAA homepage. Click on ExNet. ExNet will ask you for a username and password. Each school only has one username and password, and they are unique to each school. If you require this information, please obtain them from your principal, and if your principal needs the username and password, he or she can contact the SHSAA office. The primary school in the joint sponsorship is responsible to register the team on the school's E3. The secondary schools in the joint sponsorship do not register a team on their E3. The primary school is the only school that will pay a registration fee on their E3 for the team. The primary school in the joint sponsorship can refer to the instructional video on how to complete an E3. If the secondary school has already selected the activity on their E3, they should contact the SHSAA office to have the activity removed and registration fee credited on their ExNet account if done prior to the E5 deadline. In order to complete the E5, click Registration, then Activity Eligibility Form. The primary school will select the activity that the joint sponsorship has been approved for to complete the E5 by clicking on Create Eligibility Form on the right side of the page. If the school has applied for and been approved to reclassify to a higher classification, select the classification that the team will be participating in by clicking Opt Up. Select Yes or No as to the intentions of the jointly sponsorship team to participate in SHSAA playoffs. The SHSAA office uses this information to create conferences and regionals in team activities. The primary school for the joint sponsorship will click on the school that they are in a joint sponsorship with. If you are in a joint sponsorship with 2 or more other schools, you need to hold down the control button on your keyboard as you select the schools. Complete the coach's name, home phone number, work phone number, and email address. An accurate email address is important as this is how the SHSAA office or hosts contact the coach with information regarding SHSAA playoffs that the team has registered for. Also include any NCCP theory or technical certification that the coach has. This is important data in SHSAA reporting to SAS Sport. All SHSAA coaches are required to complete Respect in Sport and online concussion. The coach will have received certification numbers when they complete the online courses. The certification numbers are mandatory fields for the E5 completion. If the coach is a non-faculty coach, a school supervisor can be listed. Any other coaches, assistant coaches, managers, etc. need to be listed in the additional coaches section along with their Respect in Sport and concussion certification numbers. Once again, this is valuable information for SHSAA reporting to SAS Sport, but it also is important for liability of the school and individuals that are coaching. The coaching information cannot be changed on ExNet following the withdrawal deadline of activities. If you need to withdraw a team from SHSAA playoffs or update coaching information, please contact the SHSAA office directly. Once you've completed this information, you can click on Save Your Coach Information Now. Once this page has been saved, an E5 with the completed coach information will be created in the database for the secondary schools of the joint sponsorship, and the activity will be added to the E3 of the secondary school, but no additional fees will be added. Each school involved in the joint sponsorship will be responsible for completing the E5 by including only the students that are registered at their school that are participating on the team. The primary school does not attempt to add students from the secondary school. Once the secondary schools complete their E5 with the students that are registered at their schools, the primary school will not only see the students that are registered at their school, but also see the students that the secondary school have added to their E5s for the activity so that they can confirm that all students that are participating on the team have been registered. To add eligible students that are in grade 9 to 12 that are participating on the team to the roster, please refer to the E5 instructional video. If you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to give us a call. We would be happy to help.